Hello guys, welcome to the Trading Parrot. You've been asking for a full in-depth technical video about Solana, and this is what we're going to do today, including liquidation pools, number of longs versus shorts, areas where I'm interested in buying Solana. Remember, I already sold it all at $270. And there are some areas of value that we are about to enter, and I don't want you to miss them. Guys, if you like this type of content, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell to get notified every time I put out one of these videos. I am in a quest to get one single video with over 1,000 likes. So far I have managed to get to 900, every now and then 700 or 800. If we can work together on 1,000 likes, that really slaps in the face the YouTube algorithm, and then it's going to definitely show my channel to a lot more people. Thanks for helping me with that, and let's go with the content. Let's first focus on Solana against USDT. The last time I did TA on Solana, what I said is that the level of $179 is support, and if we lose it, it's very likely that we come back and retest the same trend line from which we broke out on the 4th of November. Since we lost the 179, we have gone by the dollar to $161. I mentioned that my area of interest on Solana starts from $150 and less. I might miss the train here. There's always that risk, but I never chase entries. I'm always sitting there patiently because there's so many cons, there's so many opportunities. When something shouts, I am the best opportunity, and it's there on the table, then I jump like a lion on top of the prey. But if I miss it, I don't sweat, I don't mind. So 160, it is a sweet spot from the point of view of technicals, but if you come with me and I show you around a little bit more data, it might show you that there is still a decent chance that there can be a bit more of a downside in here. Solana has been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks with red candles. In this period in here, we have 1, 2, 3, but there's one in the middle of indecision. So if we count that as a red, if you allow me, it's like 4 weeks of downside. And once we hit the support of 179, we went 64% to the upside. And I think at these levels of 160 is totally worth considering to add. It's just that I still think that there is additional downside from there to add more. Now when we look at the RSI weekly is where you're gonna see why I'm saying that. Number one, we had the breakout in September. That was the impulsive move into RSI 71. That is when we put the high of $254. After that, we have a higher high, almost of $300, 296 around, but the RSI took a big hit in terms of a bearish divergence on the weekly. Not just that, but it broke down before that on the 16th of December when Bitcoin was correcting, and then all we did was to rally into resistance. During this leg up into resistance is where I look for my exit. Why? Because you break down on a weekly basis, you find a new support, and then you can have a rally into resistance. As soon as we were around here, and believe me, but the RSI went beyond this. At some point it was above it. When we were above it, I say I'm gonna play the game of I don't buy that we're gonna break this resistance and we could potentially retrace back below it. That is the most likely scenario in these situations, and that's what we did. At some point I took profit at 270. At that point was the moment I noticed we were there. Actually I could have taken profit at 300, but price was already retracing and losing lower time frames. 4 hour and daily was looking ugly at that point, telling me that potentially we could lose this trend line. We did. We came back down, we came for a test of the new lower support. Now we have this trend line tracking the support which we held up until the end of January, but now we are on a journey to a new lost level of support, and it's so evident that this move in here, putting an all-time high, was just a dead cat bounce. And I'm not saying we are not gonna put a new all-time high again during this cycle, during this year of 2025, but at the moment you can see how much it's been punished the momentum. We are at 46. That 46 of RSI is lower than the RSI that we had in August 2024. So what the hell are we doing in here? I'm not a fundamental guy, I'm not an expert in fundamentals, but my take on this, coming from my ignorance, is that Solana resonates a lot with the meme coin trading and speculation. I'm not saying that the technology behind Solana is bad or anything. It can be the best one, but unfortunately they are marrying the devil real. They are resonating a lot. When Trump coin pumps, then you get a rally into resistance of Solana. When Trump pulls back and becomes kind of a scam, then people lose again interest in the network because people are bullish on the use case of meme coins. Not everyone. Many people think the fundamentals are stronger, the technology is here to stay forever, and there's also an event of an unlock coming in March, which I think is $2 billion or a crazy huge number, which might be spooking again the market. So Solana, what it needs to do is hopefully hold this 46. Let's push it a little bit higher so it matches with August. I want RSI on Solana to hold 46. That is my hope, so we can start having another rally into resistance. If from here we go now into 54, if we manage to turn this 46 into an actual support first, of course, that is very important, then that can bring the price to $214. So watch out. If we bounce from 160 and we go into 210, get an alert, because after 5 weeks of downside, you could come and here meet both with that resistance of the weekly RSI and the volume weighted moving average at 214. There's a confluence there, and it's a perfect recipe if things continue bearish for Solana to just go there, kiss these lines there and say goodbye, and then capitulate and liquidate the longs that I'm gonna show you that are still very sticky on Solana. They haven't fully capitulated. On the daily time frame, yes. On the weekly, nope, they're still there. What I'm trying to tell you is that is giving room for downside. So you can go to a dead cat bounce in here, you can have some upside, but watch out with the risk. As soon as you get above $200, be careful with a strong rejection from there. Do not think that just by getting into 200 that guarantees a new all-time high, and be prepared to pull out in case you see weakness there. If things are very strong at that point, take a decision and maybe think there might be some additional upside, maybe a trailing take profit or some additional risk management. Let's look at the delta of longs versus shorts on Solana. You can see that from 26th of December, nothing has happened to Solana apart from getting new longs from the bottom of the range all the way to the maximum level of longs that you can get in Solana, which at the moment, based on statistics, is saying that around 70% is where we were expecting to see a flip. We saw a rejection, a strong rejection of longs in the delta, and a breakdown now heading into 49. So on the weekly, there is all this downside to flash all these longs up until we get to the very bottom once again. The very bottom was January of 2023. I do not think on the weekly that we are going to fulfill this full move, because that takes us back into a bear market that completely kills Solana. If we get to here, basically eliminating all weekly longs, Solana gets below $100, and I don't think that is possible here. I think we could go halfway through here around 30 and then see a bounce, and potentially even getting a higher high in terms of longs, which I'm definitely planning to exit before that once I build my position somewhere in here. I want to cover Solana against Ethereum because there is currently an argument, there is a shift on Twitter. People are saying, I sold all my Solana and I'm gonna buy Ethereum. Ethereum is the future. Solana is just for meme coins. You know, all this argument of blah blah and blah blah that is worth nothing. But on the technicals, we saw when we pinch the top of the range of this flag, we say we can have from 008 a move into home. And in the past 2 weeks, we have done nothing but just coming straight to 006. We did it even faster than I was expecting. And as a result of that, we are testing the support. This is 50 weekly RSI support at the moment after having lost the initial support of 66. Now we are testing it once again, the same pivot. At this point, what this chart is saying, which is relative to Ethereum, not to USDT, is that this is potentially, if we hold the support, a great area to do the opposite, to flip Ethereum into Solana, just because Solana is on weekly support. You do need to do risk management in here, because if this continues to bleed against Ethereum, then you can get an ugly breakdown in here that can take you up to 004, middle of the range. And that could happen if really they're going to unlock 2 billion and everybody sells. Worst case scenario, yeah, it's doable. But we are in a bull market and I'm still planning to buy Solana, regardless of me saying all those ugly things about the meme coins. I think that this is still tradable. I can trade pretty much anything with a decent market cap. And remember, I sold at $270 and I bought it just for a few quicks. So I am grateful to Solana, and I think I can repeat another win from these areas of value that we are talking. We have an area of value against USDT because we have weekly support. Sorry, against Ethereum. And on the USDT, if we reclaim the 46, 47 support weekly, we can have another rally in here, as I explained earlier. In terms of liquidations, the last time I was looking at liquidations of Solana, we were around 10th of February. You can probably find my video somewhere. And I was saying, regardless of this breakout, we are too close to the liquidation levels of 167. Then we have the 150. And I said, and I state publicly multiple times on tweets, that I'm not a buyer of Solana unless we go to $150. Price has gone to 160, not yet hitting the 151. Not guaranteed that we take it, but you can see if you focus on the histogram how much liquidity at the moment there is from the shorts to really go up relative to punishing everything up until $100. So if really we have a huge capitulation of Solana, that $100 is kind of the golden entry, but unfortunately nothing is really that easy in trading, and there's a high chance that you don't get the $100 liquidation entry. And that's why I'm giving you kind of a line in the middle there. Remember that we are coming from almost $300. If you get lucky to enter at 160, it's already great. If you get 150, it's just slightly better. And then there is a vacuum below 150 that puts at risk getting into 100. Between 150 and 120, there is a depression there, and it peaks again at 100. And that is the risk of really not filling orders that low. So what I will do is consider this a game of great value around here, great value around here. Whether you can fill one and two or just one, I think it's high likely a win in my opinion. Of course, general markets, you know the drill. Any crash, anything outside crypto, always be prepared in 2025, a topping year, for a potential drawdown of 40% at any time. So high leverage on these positions, no way. You need to do 1x if you're really an expert, a 2x in here for accumulation. Beyond that, on coins like Solana that had extreme amounts of volatility is nonsense. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video about Solana. If you want to trade Solana on excellent exchanges, I prefer to do it on Bybit or on OKX. Either of them are offering great rewards if you sign up using links in the description. 60,000 on OKX, 30,000 on Bybit, and the lowest fees to trade as long as you use links in the description. If you want to do it without KYC, which is a great option as well, not needing to use VPN, having multiple accounts with different emails, you can use my link in description for bluffing and claim up to 100,000 in rewards or 30,000 on 2bit. This is another great exchange without KYC. Any of these rewards are based on trading volume and deposit size. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.